Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going? It's me. It's Reyes Amides, and you're here with the Resource Roundup, the show where in 30 minutes you'll actually get caught up on a really great amount of really great resources. So it's going to behoove you to watch the whole thing, just to give you an idea of what's happening and in regards to deadlines, grants, fellowships, jobs, what I can find and what I've found and the research I've done. You get all pretty much in about 20 minutes. So, really, if you haven't been here before, this is the Resource Roundup, where I, Reyes Amidas, go through deadlines for grants and fellowships and jobs and all that good stuff. And this is Fresh Arts. We are a nonprofit arts organization based primarily out of Houston, Texas. And though that's our main thing, our main kind of territory that we work out of, it is through online channels such as this that that our reach is further and goes out into wherever you're listening in from. So we appreciate if you'd shout out in the comments where you're listening in from, just also to give us an idea of what resources to feature. If there's a good enough people coming in from San Antonio, more than happy to look up stuff for y'all in San Antonio. So just let me know. And so today we have some really great resources coming up. I'm just going to get through them. There's quite a bit, but again, hopefully it's all useful for you. And we actually have something coming up. I don't know if you've heard, but tax season. Tax season's upon us. Tax day is usually April 15th. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some resources that we have real quick, and also maybe some news you didn't know regarding tax season. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so if you go over to our artist resource library, where you just go to succeed as an artist, and it's right there, artist resource library, you're going to go down and you're going to see a bunch of stuff. But the first two things are really, really key to what I'm going to talk about right now. The first thing is the Art of Taxes webinar, which aired not too long ago. The Art of Taxes webinar it's a partnership between ourselves, Fresh Arts, and Texas Accountants and Lawyers for the Arts, TALA, and this year is also Austin Music Foundation, teamed up, and essentially TALA provides some really, really great resources with a lawyer, an accountant to present information on filing your taxes. And so they really do cover some really interesting and great topics that perhaps you may not be up to code on or up to speed on. And so they provide some insight into things such as 1099s and W9s and W2s and 1099s. So a lot of the basics that perhaps if you don't know where to start, they give you a place to start. And then part two, they did two parts this time. Usually it's only one part, but it's a webinar so nice they did it twice. So this time in the second one, they go through more of the complex issues, such as the self-employment tax, Section 199A. Oh man, I got to brush up on that one. So check that out. It's totally free in our resource library to check out and watch. And with the new federal administration, who knows, these laws might change. So, brush up on these and then also understand that things might change. And then next we have on that resource library of the Arts and Taxes, a Fresh Arts cheat sheet. And it's something that I wrote along with some input from colleagues on, some things to look at if you are an artist and you are looking to do some write-offs on your taxes. Here are some guidelines and some laws and stuff like that hopefully are more digestible than other guides you might see. Excuse me. And so, like, for example, if you have a website, how much do you pay for it? Could be deductible. Did you use legal services or buy books that are integral to your business? Well, you might be able to write them off. And so check this out to kind of get a lead on what to maybe look into to write off on your taxes. And then also some tax filing assistance in regards to who is offering to file taxes for free for you. And so there are some organizations that are doing that virtually as well. Most of these are virtual, where you get a virtual appointment, and these are free depending on your income level. And then some places that if you want, I guess like more central or more specialized help, here's some ones and one that I use. But again, this is kind of like a cheat sheet to give you a leg up on those resources. So just keep that in mind. The Fresh Arts cheat sheet. And some news that maybe you don't know about, but if you here they are. So like the first thing that I want to bring up is Tala is also having their arts legal line on April 6th. And essentially it's a free consultation with an attorney where you can call anywhere in Texas. So call from anywhere in Texas, whether you're in Austin, El Paso, H-Town. You can call in, you can ask essentially almost any question with an attorney. It's 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. You just call this number and you get a free consultation with an attorney. So if you have a burning question on any topic or anything like that, this is your chance. They only offer these every so often. April 6th is the next one, July 6th, and October 5th. So take advantage of that. And up next, just to let you know, the IRS announced tax relief for Texas severe winter storm victims. And so if you just have had a really, really awful time, which I hope you haven't, or not, if you need this extension to file your taxes, usually due April 15th, it is now, they've been postponed for June 15th. And so check this out to figure out, how exactly you can get that extension. But this is an option available to you if you've been affected by the winter storm, particularly in Texas. And so, like, again, check this out to get that extension, but it's not, if you're affected by the winter storm, you have until June 15th. So check this out about, taking advantage of that and also the repercussions of taking that extension. And so, so again, consider, the taxes, consider yourself a small business, consider yourself as someone who invests in their work and their craft, and look into how the IRS, so what other entities provide you that relief, provide you with things that, make your business that much easier to conduct. So again, definitely check out these resources in regards to the legal and the financial to really take advantage of those things. And so I'm going to do some share my screen again, and this is for deadlines on upcoming things. So let's get that started. So the first thing I want to mention is due today, or rather, I'm sorry, August 1st. I don't know why I had this in here, but just to get you a head start, the 2021 Halstead Grant is happening. This is for craft artists, particularly in the jewelry kind of realm. And so this grant is $7,500 in startup capital and $1,000 in merchandise. So if you make jewelry, this is for you. This is due August 1st. I thought it was due today because I thought I saw April 1st. But hey, get a jump on this. The sooner you do these, the better. The next thing I want to mention is due tomorrow. So some of these things, you can probably get them in there if you really, really want to do it. You can probably get this in there by tomorrow. This is the Contemporary Arts Center New Orleans, open call to Gulf South artists for works reflecting upon art and health. And so the Contemporary Arts Center for New Orleans is having an open call exhibition, particularly for people based in the Gulf South. And if you don't know what the Gulf South is really the region of the South, what is traditionally known as the South, but specifically ones that touch the Gulf, like the water. So, in terms of like the South and the Gulf South, right, there are some particularities in those identities. And so definitely that's what that's referring to. But definitely check this out if you fit into that identity, into that, what it's going for. And so definitely check this one out. And Contemporary Arts Center is wage certified. So I know I see it's $25 to essentially submit, but they pay well when you get in. Up next, we have the Pabst Blue Ribbon Open Door Grant. This is also due tomorrow. It's free to apply, but essentially Pabst Blue Ribbon is offering artists, particularly within our state in Texas, a pretty all right chunk of money. Yeah, $5,000. So Definitely check this one out. It should be relatively easy to apply, but again, you won't get those $5,000 if you don't apply. So definitely check it out. Thank you, Pabst Blue Ribbon, for offering this. So, um, it's pretty much open to any art. So again, due tomorrow, 11 p.m. This is 11:59 p.m., but that's Pacific time. So keep that in mind. Up next, we have the Poets and Writers United States of Writing Project Grant. So this is a literary grant. So if you've ever wanted to do a reading series or a panel series or a workshop series or a mix of all three, this is a grant to pay for that series. And so what essentially, if you're a writer, where it's poetry, fiction, or creative nonfiction, you can apply for this grant for free, and identifies a person of color, a Black, Indigenous, or a person of color, and you reside in Houston, where that's where we are. You can then apply for this grant, and if it's 3 sessions, you can get up to $750. If it's 2 sessions, it's $500. 1 session is $250. And so in essence, you can create a series, a literary event series. It's a really, really easy grant application. So it says tomorrow, but if you have an idea, you just type it out and submit like a really, really small budget. It's only $750. So the budget's not too complex. So it's a fairly easy application. So you still have time to get that in there. This is due tomorrow, and it's free to apply. Up next, we have something that's due Sunday. It's the Institute of Hispanic Culture of Houston. They have a call for artists. In essence, yeah, you just submit an exhibition proposal. And so you still have some time to work on this one, but this is the Institute of Hispanic Culture Houston. And I believe as long as it's kind of like, where is it? Proposals that link with the Hispanic Latin American culture, and that specifically take into account their space. So you don't have to be particularly of Hispanic or Latinx identity, just as long as that's what's the focal point of the exhibition. So if that fits you, and you work in visual arts, particularly within this realm that's highlighted here, then you should definitely apply. Up next, we have the City of Sugarland. They have a creative placemaking program called for arts. And so what they're doing is they're taking in essentially people and project or art projects that kind of focus on beautification of a city space and urban space. And so what they're asking is they're taking for a statement of qualifications, a lot of interest, and other materials, I suppose, like the budget and all that good stuff for a beautification project to help small local businesses. And so you can propose stuff like a sun shelter, a parklet, projections, all that good stuff. And the budget can range from $15,000 to $150,000. I've never done a public art project like that, so I imagine that's really good. If not, then you let me know and I'll learn something. But I think that's a pretty good chunk of change to do an art project in public. So it's free to apply. It's due April 8th, which is a Thursday next week. Definitely get that in there. Up next, we have the Up Art Studio mini murals program, artist registry. And so in essence, if you've ever seen the electrical grid boxes on certain Houston intersections, you see art painted on them. This is who does it. And so what they're doing is they're accepting people to be in their registry to then be chosen to do certain projects. So if you've ever wanted to paint one of those electrical grid boxes, this is your chance. I believe they extended the deadline to April 9th next week. So keep that in mind. And for this, you get a pretty decent budget to paint that box. So definitely check it out if you're a visual artist who works in that. And then up next, we have the McDowell Fellowship. And so what this is, it's for, let's see, yeah, it's pretty much for all arts. It's usually known for literary arts, but they actually accept applications from all arts. And so, in essence, the McDowell Colony is a space that allows you to go live there for a bit, and it's very beautiful from what I've heard. It's really awesome. It says September 15th, but they have a bunch of deadlines throughout the year depending on when you want to go. And so the first deadline was January 15th if you wanted to go in the summer. April 15th is if you want to go for the fall period, which is October 1st to January 31st. And the next one is September 15th for the winter spring period, which is February 1st to May 31st of next year. And so definitely check this out if you want to take a break from wherever you are and go to a really beautiful locale. Let me see where. Yes, they provide exclusive use of a studio, accommodations, and 3 prepared meals up a day for up to 8 weeks. And there are no residency fees. So once you get in, you pay that $30. And if you get in, you don't pay for anything else, essentially, for, I believe, except for travel there. But again, good deal, I think, to get access to a beautiful space and set that time blocked off to create your work. So check it out. Up next, we have Society for the Performing Arts. They have a project. Their commissioning project virtual awardee, Erin Rogers, is looking for submissions to be part of her video. And so if you want to be part of another artist's project to present something, definitely check this one out. This is due April 15th. And it is an open call for pretty much all arts. And the ideal videos are 1.5 to 2 minutes long. All right. And they're also offering an honorarium. Forgot to mention that, but it's free to apply as well. Up next, we have Museum Workers Speaks, 2021 Museum Workers Relief Fund. So if you're a museum worker impacted by COVID-19, you can apply for a chance to receive $500 in aid through their lottery system. And so it's free to apply. The application doesn't seem too bad or too difficult to go through. So just keep in mind that, again, it's a lottery system, so you can apply, but you may not get it, but you could. But that's the thing, you won't have a chance at all if you don't get in. And so you'll receive $500 if you are a museum worker impacted by COVID-19, and this is how they define museum workers. And so, again, I think it's a really cool sector of the arts industry that to focus in on the museum workers who are very important to our arts ecosystem, and definitely in the way that COVID-19 and even the winter freeze has affected them. It's definitely an issue that we should be paying attention to, and this is just one small, I guess, way that that's being done. But again, you won't get that $500 if you don't apply, so definitely get that in. This is due April 16th, and it's free to apply. Up next, we have Surf Plus Get Ready and COVID Career Resilience Grants. This is due Wednesday, April 24th. And what this does is that it's for craft artists, for crafting artists. And you can look at here how it defines that. It's really anyone that works with materials such as clay, glass, textiles, wood, metal. And I believe they're even more open than that, as long as it's a crafting art. And this is due April 24th, I believe. And I'll have to change that if it says April 21st. I'll definitely change that, but take the earlier deadline, April 21st. It might be they changed it or extended it to April 24th from when I looked at it. But again, what this does is it offers $500 to individual artists working in craft disciplines to conduct activities that will safeguard their studios. So in essence, this is a way to pay for certain things to protect your craft materials in your studio, which I think is a really cool and interesting investment to focus on in regards to safeguarding your stuff and your art. So it's not like a direct unrestricted fund, but it is to kind of safeguard your stuff. And they have a list of all qualify, so check that out. And it's free to apply. And we're almost done here. The Arts Connect Houston, they're a really cool organization that focuses on getting arts education in schools and kind of advocating for that. They're looking for a data and advocacy manager. So this is a job opportunity. This is due Friday, April 23rd. Pays from $50,000 to $65,000, commensurate with experience and a benefits package. So if you like numbers and you like the arts, couldn't be me, but it could be you. Take it up if this is of your interest. And so they want to collect robust data on arts education and to translate this information to accessible reporting, usable insights, and effective advocacy. So again, you like numbers, you like the arts, perfect for you. And up next, we have the Southern Studies Fellowship in Arts and Letters. So if you are a crafting artist, literary artist, or visual artist, the Southern Studies Fellowship in Spartanburg, South Carolina, is offering a fellowship where you get a 9-month fellowship of research, and you'll get housing and a monthly stipend of $900. So for those 9 months, I believe you get $900 a month. And a place to live in Spartanburg, South Carolina, to essentially do your work. And they want someone to essentially that's focusing on the South. So, and it says here, each fellow received funding for 6 to 10 days of travel as well in the southern region to conduct research at cultural and educational institutions, all that good stuff. So if you identify as a Southern artist and you want to go through the South to kind of do your research for your art, here it is your chance. It's kind of a hefty fee of $40. But I think the reward kind of matches that risk. So up to you. Definitely check it out. And finally, again, we're returning full circle back to Texas Accountants and Lawyers for the Arts. They're having kind of like a rolling basis program where they are waiving their membership fees for artists and arts organizations suffering financial hardship due to coronavirus, to be able to call them and get a pro bono attorney, essentially, to get legal help. Usually they have a membership fee, but they are waiving that for if you've been affected by COVID-19. So definitely check this one out if you need that legal help or legal advice to take you, where you need to go. So TALA, Texas Accounts for Lawyers in the Arts, Texas Accountants and Lawyers for the Arts, really great organization. We love working with them. So check it out if you need it. And so there you have it. Really great programs, really great deadlines, really great opportunities. They're there for your taking. And again, wow, it's only been, it's less than 20 minutes, like 23 minutes. And already, you're already caught up on all the cool stuff that hopefully applies to you. And so really the purpose of this is to really give you kind of a shortcut and a way into these deadlines, because I know myself as a writer, how much really this really is kind of like a second job to look through these opportunities to see what applies to you. And you can apply to all the opportunity kind of newsletters and stuff like that. Trust me, I do. That's how I find these things. And you're going to find a lot of stuff that may not apply to you. And so you definitely don't want you to waste your time looking for these and reading through these descriptions. So hopefully this is a service to you that is free and that helps you out in your journey to practicing your craft and your art. So I've been Reyes Ramirez. I hope you've been well, and I hope you stay safe, and I'll see you next time.